my city long enough to feel the weight of promises that have been left on our sidewalks, of futures that have been delayed by politicians bought and sold in the high places who leave our communities behind. Kansas City and all of our folks in our district. That is home. Missouri is home. And our home is not for sale. Our home is not where we live in fear. Our home is our home. And ain't nobody gonna make us play for our own displacement. Do you understand me? That's our home, and we ain't going nowhere. Voices out there that are trying to tell our communities to hate each other, to tell us to turn on each other, trying to tell us the hope is optional, trying to silence our voices, and to those in those halls of power, to those war hawks, the stock traders who profit off of our pain, who profit off of weapon sales and student loan interest rates, developers and insurance companies who drive our families into bankruptcy. We say not here. We say not now. We say not in our city, not in our schools, not in our workplace. What we will tell them is to expect us. Expect us. Are they ready for you and me? Are they ready for you and me? This is what it looks like when we say no more fascism. We cannot whisper in the dark. Hope and that light, it seems to find us. We have to rise. We have to speak for every child in Missouri, in my district, but every child in Cleveland, in Chicago, in St. Louis, every child and working class member in Sudan, in Congo, in Palestine. Because workers of the world unite, and none of us are free until we all are free.
You can murder revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution.
King Kong ain't got on me.
Your $5 ass down before I make it.
All right, my friends, we are back. We are back, and I want to welcome to the stage user error over here, Rose. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Rose, Penelope,
no worries at all.
Rose, Penelope,
It's okay.
You got three excellent words that make up one of my favorite tags of any candidate this season. You say people, you say peace, and you say planet. So, Rose, welcome to the show. Break it all down. How did you get here? You're running. The floor is yours.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of questions to answer, Hartzell. But
And go.
First of all, hello. How are you? Hi to everyone. So this is, I'm really new to this Twitch thing. I guess I'm a Luddite to Twitch, although I'm not as backward as some people, I think.
Is that shade to me? You talking to
me? So Grandma Rose here. No, actually, I don't have any grandkids yet. I'm Grandma Envious, if that makes sense.
Oh,
maybe,
beautiful.
hopefully, one of these days. So, I am running in California, District 2. And like you running for Congress, you're running in Missouri, District 4, right?
Yep, that's me. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's you. So I made my donation to the right candidate then.
Oh my gosh, stop it. Oh, Rose. Oh my gosh, you are the absolute best. No, and we're both following this gerrymandering fight, correct? Is that how you got into yeah, we're what am I saying post? Yeah, we very much are still in it. So tell me.
Oh no, I didn't know that you had gerrymandering in Missouri as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's how we got into this 4th district. Yeah. So, we had breaking news today that the Missouri first maps seem to be upheld, at least in this one section of the courts. And so, not going great. So that's kind of our situation.
So
but like you, right back.
Does that mean you're in District 4 then?
We are live. Yeah, the illegal maps have been signed. So yes, we are in the 4th, filed in the 4th, and so we fight for the 4th.
Okay, well, I'm fighting for California's 2nd district, and that's because of redistricting. So I live in Shasta County, which is, and your listeners might think of California as like this blue, woke state, blue everything. But no, it's not. There are actually huge swaths of California that are rural, and those rural areas are uh, pretty much red. And the county that I'm in, Shasta County, is one of those like reddest, MAGAist district ever. And so, as you probably know, it takes a lot of courage to run, and it takes enormous courage to run in a deep MAGA county in a, you know, so we used to be in District 1, which was an, I think, R plus 16. And then after redistricting with Prop 50, we're now a safe Democratic district. It's now, I think, D plus 17. And so the choice before the voters is actually what type of Democrat, what kind of Democrat do they want to represent them in Congress?
And see, that's one of the things that, you know, we hear about when they talk about gerrymandering. The other side of that is what they call dummy mandering, right? And so they end
I
up.
haven't heard of that.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Okay,
that's the one that
tell
we've
me a
been
little bit
using.
about that.
Well, dummy mandering, listen, what was an R plus now just became a safe D, right? You know, when you try to, you know, on my side of things, when we got we were diluted, right? So on my side, what was a fourth district that was R plus 40 is now post this assault a R plus 15 to 18, right? And so California was on the other side. California said, well, this is what Texas is going to do, which is what they're doing to Missouri. And so California said, we're going to try to make up for some of that, right? And
Right.
so it's interesting, you know, for you to have been given, we both have been given opportunities, right? But yours is especially right there for the taking, right?
Yeah, it is there, but it's not really for the taking when you think about it, Hartzell, because I'm a challenger to an incumbent Democrat, and that incumbent Democrat has a huge war chest. He's supported by corporate PAC money. He's supported by the establishment. He takes APAC Tracker has him now, and he doesn't get as much as the others, but my suspicion is because he hasn't had a really serious challenger. So he hasn't had a serious challenger. He's been there for 6 terms. So this is going to be his 7th term. And prior to that, he was in the California State Assembly. And we all know what a career politician is like, right? What's in his interest is to be kept being in office. And so what does it mean to keep, being elected over and over again? It means you need money, and you need to present yourself as someone who is supposedly representing the people. The good thing, though, is that we now have technology that could look at the actual votes that these Congress people, do in Congress and what they do. And so I was hoping I wasn't going to be the one to challenge him, Hartzell. I was hoping there would be someone like you who would step up here in District 2, but regrettably, no one young, amazing, progressive, really rooted in the same values that I have and you have, was willing to step up. And so I entered the race pretty late December, and really just started the campaign mid January.
I want to show folks this clip that I pulled of you, my friend. It was so beautiful the way that you presented it, in spite of such terrible circumstances. This was your comment talking about this war in Iran. And you posed the question, what is the worth of a life? And Rose, I thought this was just wonderful, and I would love to play it.
The worth of a life. What is the worth of a young girl's life? What is the worth of 175 young girls' lives lost during that airstrike in Minab, Iran? Blood is in the hands of Trump. Blood is in the hands of Netanyahu. Blood is in the hands of Democrats and Republicans who have accepted Zionist money and enabled this atrocity.
So Rose,
that was very heartfelt.
well, and just
It's pretty raw. Sorry.
No, and I want to play one more clip, and it comes back to this question I have, and you can think about it as we play this clip. Even going up against a corporate-backed, APAC-backed incumbent in this new district, you have the moral clarity to stand on your convictions. And so I want to play this clip. This is even, I believe, is at the California Democratic Convention, I believe. Let's take a look at this.
California Lieutenant Governor. I have a secret to tell you guys, which is earlier this week, I became the first candidate in history to be endorsed by the California Democratic Socialists of America.
Now, for those who are listening and not so much watching, as the speaker is presenting, you've got signs, one of which is carried by our own Rose, says Free Palestine. Behind her, you've got someone that says Abolish ICE. Rose, the amount of courage, even amongst, we think, friendly folks. Again, you have not sold out. You won't sell out. Tell me about where that came from, and tell me, in spite of all of this corporatism, how you have just stayed true to yourself.
A lot of it has to go back to the roots that I have. I'm an immigrant from the Philippines, and I grew up under martial law. And we had a Philippine president who wanted to perpetuate himself in power. And so what he did is first, he took out the writ of habeas corpus, which means that he can just arrest people and they don't need to be represented in court, I believe is what it is. And then he declared martial law. So completely fascist move on his part. And my late father was a lawyer. There are four of us, four kids in a family, but he strongly believed that if one has any agency at all to correct any injustice, one has the responsibility to act on it and to use whatever agency you have. And so as a young child, I saw that modeled by my father and my mother. And when there were student protesters on the streets fighting against the Marcos dictatorship, and not just students, there were farmers, there were working people, and my father would, as a lawyer, would defend them in court because by that time you could, there were instances when they were still being brought to justice, and my father, in addition to that, also organized other professionals, other lawyers to help in the fight against the dictatorship. And because of that, he himself became a target, Hartzell. And we had two of those. You see those, and I'm dating myself because I love the TV show MASH.
Hey.
Right? Yeah. So you see those truckloads of soldiers, right? So we had those in the Philippines, and two of those truckloads, fully armed military men, Philippine Army men with their guns and whatever they had, came to our house late at night to arrest my father. And so long story short, he was a political detainee. And as a child, I remember visiting him in the military stockade. And we were always raised with again, the value that we have to fight injustice when we see it, and that we have a responsibility. So that sense of responsibility is very strong in me. And I just can't shake that. And then so when I found out, so I thought after Prop 50 that with the redistricting and District 2 now being do we still have time? Okay.
Oh,
I just want
absolutely.
to
No,
make
keep
sure.
going. Oh, no, no, no. My
Okay.
friend, listen, I come from media, radio. We take walks. So listen, as long as you good, we good. Take as much
Okay.
time.
Okay. So I'm now going to explain how I came to run. When we heard about Prop 50 and the fact that it was going to be a Democratic, a blue district, whoa, the people here in Shasta County, because we've just felt so oppressed being like under this MAGA, the MAGA neighborhood and MAGA supervisors, MAGA city council. Uh, like really, there was like that sense of hope that finally we will have something to look forward to, like sanity can return. And so I felt that, and we campaigned for Prop 50. And but then when I attended the Progressive Caucus of the California Democratic Party, uh, a woman piped up and said that the incumbent in District 2 should be primaried. And so that that made me wonder why would she say that? And I did some research, and I got deeply bothered because when I looked at his votes in Congress, one vote stood out, and that was the vote in 2024 for a $26 billion Israel Supplemental Appropriations Act. That $26 billion was to be sent in additional military aid to Israel. Furthermore, there's a little footnote in the House.gov website about that bill that says that any of the appropriations cannot be sent to UNRWA. So UNRWA is the United Nations Relief and Works Agency that provides humanitarian aid to Palestinians, to Palestinian refugees especially. And I like, my heart broke, and I couldn't in good conscience, Hartzell, be represented by a Democrat who would vote for something like this. And so I knew then that he needs to be challenged. And I waited, hoping somebody would challenge him until late December, and nobody was willing to do it. I talked to different groups in the district, in the current District 2. So, and then I learned, for example, that he actually got sued by a group called Taxpayers Against Genocide and 13 other groups in his district that did not agree with that vote. And so not having anyone else come up to challenge him, I did. And so that's the story.
Well, hold on one second, Rose, because we all appreciate you. Let's make sure we give Rose a round of applause, folks.
Oh.
So, Rose, I guess history calls to all of us, and you picked up the baton because you felt like you had to, but you're not single issue. You were someone like me. I think we run on love and liberation, unapologetically leftist. So what else are we gonna
Yeah.
do this? What else is
Yeah.
22
So
to do?
yeah. The thing is that we see that there are systems and structures of oppression, right? And so one issue is connected to another, and it's all brought on by the same systems and structures. And when we think about our government and war, government and weapons, government and militarization, we need to look at how are those things funded. And if those are funded, how about the other things that also need to be funded that our people need in our daily lives, right? And so when people think that the genocide is happening elsewhere, like the war is happening elsewhere, it's not here on our shores, it is actually related to how uh, we have this pushback for all the things that we need. So when the president right now increases, for example, every year, Democrat or Republican, uh, uh, the military, the Pentagon budget keeps increasing, right? It doesn't matter if it's a Democrat president or a Republican president. Pentagon budget keeps on going up.
Budget
And
goes up, can't pass a single audit, 800 billion out of Biden, 1.5 now under Trump. I mean, this is insane, Rose.
yes, it is. And so when we see that portion of our national resources getting allocated to the Pentagon, and not only the Pentagon, actually we need to add like the DHS, ICE funding.
Yes. Yes.
And so if we look at those, and then we look at what the other things that we need, we could see that it is related, because when we ask for Medicare for all, when we ask for universal health care, we're told there's no money. When we ask for tuition-free public colleges and universities, or trade and apprenticeship programs, paid apprenticeship programs for our youth that are talented in the trades, there's no money for that. When we talk about fixing our aging infrastructure, roads and bridges, and getting public transportation up and running with renewable clean energy, there's no money for those. So we Americans, voters, residents here in this wonderful, beautiful country of ours, keep on getting pushed back. We are not the priority. We have Congress people who are not representing us in Congress. They are not bringing our interests on the floor, and instead they vote for war. They vote for militarism, and that's just not acceptable, Hartzell. And I know it's not acceptable to me. It's not acceptable to you. It's not acceptable to all of our viewers here. And so we need to really make our voices heard. We need people like us elected to Congress so that we can change things. And I love collaborating in this way. And so thank you for inviting me, because Congress is a legislative body and it's collaborative. It's not an executive body. So we have different ways of pushing our agenda forward, and it's through collaboration. And I'm hoping that other progressives that are running right now will join us and collaborate with us so that we can push this movement forward.
We have to. I mean, Rose, we have to be a part of this slate. We got us is the tagline that I use in my campaign, our campaign, and I am so with you. We have to also be strategic about this. I mean, the urgency of now is now, says MLK. And so I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm over here thinking how we gonna scheme together. So I got universal health care, guaranteed job, pays a living wage, $25 an hour, guaranteed housing, and then we divest from the war machine. So I want to know, when we get to Congress together, Penelope, what are we gonna work on first? What are we gonna collaborate on first?
Okay, so there are various levers that we can use, right? The first thing I would say is that if we both get elected to Congress, is to team up with others and not vote for Hakeem Jeffries to be the Speaker of the House if the Democrats gain control of Congress, because he has been ineffective. He has been representing the interests of others and not the interests of the people. And I don't see him as a leader that we deserve. So that would be the first thing. And Hartzell, I think what you're what you're saying here is like I'm very honest, and frank, and the thing is, and you'll learn as we journey in this together, is that uh, I find it I find it hard to not speak the truth. Oops, I lost you. Can
Oh, our campaign managers, we get yelled at a bunch. I can already. That's why I feel like we get each other, Rose, because we have to be unapologetic in this moment. Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, they are failing us in this moment, and if they want our votes, Rose, we're going to need to get some concessions for it. You want our vote to be speaker, then you're going to need to put a vote for Medicare for all on the floor. You're going to make sure you put a vote to raise the minimum wage, to codify and pass the PRO Act, the Equality Act, codify Roe v. Wade at the minimum. I mean, why are we over here grasping at peanuts when I want the whole thing?
Yeah, exactly. And oh, wouldn't it be awesome, Hartzell, to force a vote on Medicare for all? Did you know that there was a movement to force the vote? I think it was in 2020, or I think it was in 2020 when but regrettably, some progressives didn't go as far as forcing the vote. I would have forced. I was so disappointed.
You know who forces the vote? You know, the Republican Party forces the vote.
Yes.
Congressional Republicans force the vote, and they got stuff out of it. Now, listen, it's a bunch of stooges who got a bunch of backroom deals and smoky rooms, but it was effective, and the material needs of the Congress people were met. Why don't we push and force a vote so that we can meet the material needs of working class folks in California and in Missouri? What a concept, Rose.
Yes. And the thing is that by forcing the vote on the floor, we get a permanent record of who really is for Medicare for all, for example. And so they cannot hide behind saying that I'm for Medicare for all, I will co-sponsor it, because there's a difference between performative opposition and real opposition. And forcing the vote in Congress shows real opposition. And so when we do that, we will know who in the Democratic Party is bought and paid for, and their voters would know that. And we, Hartzell, if we're in Congress together, can campaign, by campaigning, I mean that we can campaign for force a vote, we can campaign and help voters in the districts where their representatives are not real representatives, and help raise their voices. Because yes, Congress, there are certain duties and responsibilities and power that we have as Congress people, elected Congress people, but also the office carries a lot of weight. And so we can use the weight of the office in order to help pass other bills, in order to help other constituents and raise their voices, because we have the platform of being a congressperson. So for example, here in California, there's a billionaire tax right now. And the governor, surprise, surprise, he's a Democrat. He's not supporting it. He will work against it. And
unbelievable.
So
unbelievable. This is, and he wants to run for president?
Yes.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
And just think about this, Hartzell. California does not have a state-run Medicare for all. And you know what? In California, we have a super majority in the California State Senate. We have a super majority in the California State Assembly. And yet we cannot pass Medicare for all, or CalCare. It can't even get on the floor. Last time it was pulled out, I think it was 2024. I got heartbroken because I supported it, and it was pulled out. It didn't even get on the floor. And you know why that is so? Because we have Democrats who accept corporate back money. They accept donations from the healthcare industry, from the insurance industry, and so on and so forth. And so when push comes to shove, they have this outside performative stand that they're for those issues that we care about. But when it comes time to really implementing them by putting them into by voting them into Congress or into the state assembly here in California, nope, there's always an excuse. And Hartzell, I'm old, so I have heard
You
this
stop that.
so
You stop
many
that.
times. No, I'm just saying that that's from the vantage of being old, is that you hear the same excuse over and over again. That now is not the right time. Now is not the right time, or it's too complicated. And those are excuses that uh, oh, what are they called? Dinos now? Democrats in name
Yes.
only?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So we need to educate voters about that. We need to educate our supporters about that. Let them know that we need to hold these Democrats' feet in the fire.
Well, and it is,
Am
you
I
mentioned
getting
it. No. You're
too
preaching. Listen,
activist for you?
no, I am an organizer by trade, activist. Listen, we preach to the choir because the choir's got to sing sometimes. And so what you were singing is very singing pretty, my friend. And you said it perfectly, is that it is a bully pulpit, right? What we have and what we hope to have is immense power and responsibility. It's power of the people. And that is not just limited to Congress. It means that we're going to have a mouthpiece in the ear of our state capitals, of our municipalities in our district. And also, we're going to push back on establishment Democrats who are not making our lives better. I posted this last night. Senator Sanders had tweeted a list of all the media companies that are now under control of one person, under the Ellison family.
Ellison.
And so what I made a post was that the Telecommunications Act of 1996, it's one of the most detrimental pieces of law that has ever been in this country. It is the reason why we used to have a ton of radio stations and now you don't have any. It's why you used to have a ton of newspapers and now you don't. You got Jeff Bezos, who now controls the opinion section of his corporate publication. Supposedly, I thought democracy was supposed to be alive in the light, but it is absolutely dying in the dark. And so that was passed under Bill Clinton, and as a media person, I have friends who are no longer with us because of those jobs that are gone and didn't come back, and they didn't have anything else that they knew they could do. And it breaks my heart that so many people think that this is some sort of thought experiment or some kind of ledger. No, and that's bipartisan. The bought and sold is bipartisan. And that's why we got to have folks like you and me in there. And by you and me, we take our movements with us. We're organizers and activists, right? So it ain't Hartzell, it ain't Rose, it's all the homies, and we doing it together, right?
Yep, that's right. And Hartzell, it's not just media, it's all consolidations everywhere. If we look at the stock market, we have the Magnificent Seven, I think is what they're called, and it's because of the immense concentration of wealth and power in our economy. And
the
so
manipulative seven.
Yes.
That's the better word for it. The manipulative
Manipulative
seven.
Thank you. Manipulative Seven.
We should put that on a shirt. Okay.
Yeah, we
should.
Yes. Copyright it. No, actually don't, because we want to share it. We want everyone to
absolutely.
Yeah. Manipulative Seven. And it has been throughout the years really been becoming worse and worse and worse. So it's the concentration of wealth and power. We are up against the establishment. We, my friend, are like gadflies that are poking at them. But then, the saying about mosquito in the room and you won't be able to sleep is if there's a mosquito in your room. So we're like those mosquitoes, and we need to have many other mosquitoes join us, and let's sting them and run them out.
Tell me this, Rose, because I know we're talking a lot about our platforms and our North Star, our hearts. Tell me about the folks of your district, right? I can tell you right now here in Kansas City, we got a little bit of everything in this new Missouri 4th. We got KC, which is urban area. We got our suburbs. And now, because of the gerrymandering, we've got a whole lot of rural America that I'm going to be knocking doors and going to churches. And they're good folks, right? I'm talking to people who've got the MAGA hats. They voted for Trump 3 times and would vote for him another 3 if they got the chance, which it seems like that's what he's trying to do. And I'm not going to get them to take their hats off because they know that they love him. But Mark Alford, the Republican incumbent, he's supposed to be the one that squashes Trump's worst angels, right? Like, we know Trump's an imperfect vessel, but Mark, you're supposed to be the one to make sure he doesn't sells us out to Israel or sells us out to private equity. And so that's why, these hardworking folks of the 4th, I know how we're going to win in this gerrymandering fight, but tell me a little bit about your folks. Like, what makes you special? Why, tell me why your folks are pretty, Rose.
Well, just like your folks, Hartzell, it's all a mix, and the way that it's redrawn, we have like this one big urban suburban area, part of the San Francisco Bay Area, relatively wealthy county, and then it goes along the coast of California, a little bit of a sliver. It goes up to Humboldt, which is like a university university county. We have one of the California state universities there, and then it goes right all the way to the California-Oregon border, and then goes all the way to the right to the California-Nevada border.
Oh, wow.
So it will take. I think Politico did a thing about it. There was a writer, and it took him 7 hours to drive from one tip to the other tip.
Yep.
And so we have a mix then, obviously, of wealthy, well-to-do neighborhoods, and that is where the incumbent lives. Surprise, surprise, in multi-million-dollar homes that with Gavin Newsom as one of his neighbors. Apparently, the governor has a home.
It's almost too on the nose, Rose. Like, it's too obvious, right?
Yeah, yes, and then we get to go to rural coastal towns and rural inland towns where we have challenges of getting a primary doctor, and we have challenges of rural hospitals closing. So one of those that are at risk right now is Mayor Memorial, which is like a 2-hour drive to the city of Redding in the county that I'm in. So the county that I'm in has 2 hospitals, but with a closure of this possible closure of Mayor Memorial and possible closure of another of a hospital south of us in another county, not part of my district, but south of us, the load on the 2 hospitals right now are just going to increase exponentially. So think about this. My husband couldn't find a primary care physician for a couple of years now, and now he's thinking of going to the San Francisco Bay Area in order to get a primary care physician. If anything happens, it's just a mess. So I, for the life of me, can't just think about how the people in power are rationalizing the decisions that they're making in terms of just spending our money on militarization, when we have people here who can't even go to a hospital, can't even find a doctor. That is not what a strong country does. That is not what we think of as our beloved country, America, should be. And that's just as one instance, right? We have people here in Reading who live in mobile homes, whose rent for those mobile lots have increased by at least 50%.
Jeez, oh my God.
So
And how
and
many
not
of, I
just,
mean, 50%, that forces you out. That
yeah,
kind of increase displaces you. It's not, and that's like we said, this isn't just a ledger or an algorithm that says, no, these are people's lives.
yes, and you wonder why we have such a high like drug problem, right? When oh, and to me, uh, it's a lot of times people turn to other things because life is just too hard, and so then it starts a series of events, like you start to turn in. So it's all interrelated, and we know that at the heart of it is the fact that we have too much power and wealth concentrated in a very few who want to preserve and protect that power that they have and gain and amass even more wealth to the detriment of the rest of us.
And that's when we talk about universal health care, Medicare for all, whatever you want to call it, is yours. It's not an illusion of access. It is guaranteed coverage. And what people, I think, are starting to connect the dots. It's on us, Rose, to make sure we can help straighten that out. But when we talk about that universal health care, that also funds our rural health cares. It makes sure that we don't have to close, or that don't have to. It makes sure that these corrupt government officials and these bought and paid for lackeys aren't running rugshot over our folks. It makes sure that we can pay for the staff. Universal healthcare pays for the staff of those hospitals. Because if you close one of those hospitals in rural Warsaw, in my new district, now you're gonna have to get a life flight if something happens. How much is that? That's $20K right off the pop. And now how long is it gonna take to get that life flight to a hospital? I just had a heart attack. I mean, it's just real life things that, and even those who may have a hospital in those rural areas, is it privatized? Are they subordinate to shareholders? When they say they're going lean, efficiency, they're firing people, right? And so I know I'm going on a soapbox, but I feel like in this moment where our window is open, Rose, it is us, it is our movements that have to keep that window open.
Yes, I agree. And just really to put some numbers into this, and just so people can grasp it, for example, how they're all interrelated, is the $26 billion, for example, that was sent to Israel because that bill was approved. $26 billion Hartzell, if we divide it according to our congressional districts by 435, that's roughly $60 million per congressional district. So what can you do in Missouri District 4 with $60 million? And that's just one act, one little, I mean, not tiny because it's big, it's 26 billion. Just one piece that was been given to the military that is not going to our community. So that $60 million for you and $60 million for me could go towards mobile clinics, for example. It could go towards funding trade and paid apprenticeship programs for our young people, which
Public
will
transit.
then set them up for good paying jobs and provides an entryway into a middle class life for them. And so putting $60 million just from that parcel that went to the military has like so many other ancillary beneficial effects on our communities, which we aren't feeling because it all went into bombs. It all went into war. And here we are. So now, going now to the Iran war, some people are predicting that it will, if it gets drawn out, that it will cost trillions of dollars, because that's what Afghanistan cost us. But just think about it. Right now, there was a cost of war ticker that I put on my X thing, and as of this morning, it was $11.5 billion. But then it's not just the monetary cost.
Right.
There's the moral equivalent, like the girls that were killed, the young women, civilians that are killed, the destruction on the environment. It's like the my opponent, the incumbent, portrays himself as an environmentalist because he will fund a project here or there. But then when you think about the destruction that war brings and you approve of that, that's not being an environmentalist at all. But let me go back to my previous thing about the costs.
And there we go, Rose.
there
Again, we got it pulled up. And for those who are
18
listening,
now.
we're now at 18. Is that billion with a B? 18
yes.
plus $1 billion that we have sent to the war machine that we could have brought. And instead of blowing up schools, we could have been building schools here at home and making sure that all those kids don't have to go into lunch debt because they can't afford a school lunch. I'm sorry, I stepped all over your, Rose. I'm so sorry.
No. That's perfect. Thank you for putting it up, and think how fast that is going. And that's money that is being drained from our communities. That is money that's being drained from our public goods, and money being drained from our services, money that could have been spent on infrastructure projects that would employ union jobs, that would pay a living wage, where those wages would be spent on the communities by people eating out, by people buying things that they need, and thereby supporting our Main Street businesses, which then just really, really creates thriving communities. So we're putting money into destruction as opposed to regeneration, and it's morally corrupt. And it's inexcusable, and we need to fight against it. And so thank you, Hartzell, for being there, for being a comrade in arms.
Always.
And being unapologetic, because it fills my heart to find a really somebody who echoes and who shares the values that I have. So
our destinies are intertwined. How much time do you have time for one more last question?
Yeah, I do. You can't get rid of me that easily now. That
you're stuck with me. So I got one last question. In fact, you my friend, you started with it, touched on it, the billionaire tax. Now I am somebody who I am running, when we say tax billionaires out of existence, and I think I'm with you on this one, Rose. We mean that. We actually mean that here where we come from. And so what I plan on doing is every dollar over $1 billion is going to be taxed at 100%. And I know that that's probably not shared by any of your folks in California right now, especially as, Rep. Ro Khanna and Bernie Sanders are having trouble with just a 3 or a 4% tax on billionaires. But the amount of revenue is just truly it's incredible. Trillions of dollars that we could make sure, during COVID, when all the establishment folks were praising how we cut childhood poverty in half, which is incredible. But the question is why we didn't finish it. Why didn't you just go and take care of it? Well, we know why, the big moneyed interests who would do that. But your thoughts on the billionaire tax, and how can we, I guess, how can we make sure that this gets through the finish line? How can we make sure that we, these oligarchs and tech bros who are trying to put this together, how can we make sure that Everybody knows we're going to tax the hell out of them. Uh-oh, did we lose Rose? Oh, no. Oh, boy, I think we just lost Rose for a quick second. Let's do this. Take a short break, see if we can't fire this back up. We're After Dark. All righty, we are back.
Can you see me? Oh, okay,
I
good.
can see you, my friend. Look,
thank you.
my air has gotten almost close enough to be proficient, so we're moving on up. That's progress. That is real progress for us today.
Yeah.
Before we lost you, the billionaire tax. This is going to be. I know this is something you're going to champion. You already have championed, which means I'm sure you're going to get a tax, or I'm sure you're already getting attacked. So, your thoughts on how we can tax these billionaires and redistribute that wealth?
Okay, so Hartzell, if we both get elected to Congress, we will obviously be right behind Ro Khanna in campaigning and at helping persuade others in Congress to vote.
Hey, Rose,
for
maybe a future speaker, Ro Khanna. Who knows?
We'll
see.
Yes, yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, or maybe a future president, Ro Khanna.
Who's to say? But you know what? We need leaders like that.
Yeah.
And he's taking heat, and I know you've been taking heat too.
Oh yeah, and so that's one thing, and then the statewide moves that like California is doing with the wealth tax is something that we can also use the pulpit of being a congressperson and help campaign for that. And then, so the thing is, we need to have people like me, for example. My background is in finance, although not corporate finance, but my husband and I, we have our own socially and environmentally responsible small financial firm. And so I know a little bit about taxes and finance and how billionaires can hide their wealth. And so we need to look at mechanisms where we can really get them to pay for what they owe our country. And when you think about it, like you're 100%, it's like a beautiful idea, right? Because it's like, why are billionaires even there? Why do they exist? It's like morally incomprehensible that we have a political economy that allows billionaires to exist. And I know we're going to get hammered about this again because I'm saying it in public.
Hey, everyone on the call right now, everyone, we're going to keep this between you, me, and Rose. All right. Okay. Back to you.
Yeah. And if we maybe, we need to think sometimes of numbers in a different way, as in how much wealth does $1 billion mean to a person? Right? So you think of yourself and think of how much your wealth is. That's like all the things that you own and your savings. How much does that come to? And when you think about $1 billion, think about the halfway point. The halfway point is $500 million. So at $500 million, Hartzell, if you are at $499 million, you're still closer to the homeless person who has a net worth of zero than you are to a billionaire. So hopefully that will like get people to think about the concept of what it means to have a billion. So if you have 499 million, you are closer to the net worth of a homeless person than you are to a billionaire.
I mean, folks, let that sink in. When we talk about folks who are saying that, a tax on the billionaires is going to stifle innovation and it's going to make folks not want to do this or that, that's nonsense, everybody. That's just for the record. Rose, I'm not going to speak for you, but for me, that's hot garbage. Just hot garbage.
I agree.
Rose, before I do let you go, because this has been so wonderful, can we first things first, can we agree we're going to do this again?
Oh, I would love to. And maybe this time I can ask you the questions.
Ooh, okay. Roles reversed. I love that. I absolutely. So, okay, writing this down. Team, if you're in the chat, write this down. Go ahead and write that down. We're going to do roles reversed with Rose reversed. How about that? Hey.
There you go. There you go.
Radio's easy sometimes, Rose.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
Well, no, I want you to closing thoughts, whatever it is that's on your mind. Take as much time as you need. Make sure you plug your website and where folks can go. I'm going to put you on the big screen, and Rose, take it away.
Well, thank you, Hartzell. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and thank you for listening. And really, truly, it is an honor to be here, to be on this journey with all of you. And it will take all of us. It's not just Hartzell. It's not just me. It's not just our teams. It has to be all of us. And you can check out my campaign at my website, roseforcongress.com, roseforcongress.com. And if you can, I would appreciate any donation that you can make. It can be as low as $1, and I would deeply appreciate it. We need every help that we can get because I am up against an establishment incumbent. And I know Hartzell is, and I hope you support all of us. And the support is also through liking our social media, resending, because it's not now retweeting. I don't know what it is, but follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, on socials, and share the word and let people know that it's high time that we take power back, because that's what this is. We're trying to take power back from the establishment, from the wealthy who are controlling our economy and our politics. And it is a very tough thing to do, but we're all in this fight together. So join us. Thank you. Oh,
I got actual goosebumps when you said that, my friend. Like I said, our destinies are intertwined. As you were saying that, what just kept popping back in my mind was Dr. King when he says that, that final speech he gave when he said, I've been to the mountaintop, and he had seen the promised land. And what we need to do, Rose, what we know we're going to do is we're going to bring our folks, all of our folks, we're going to reach that summit, and we're going to see that a better world is possible. And we're going to head down that mountain, and we're going to put it together. So I really thank you, and I appreciate you one more time, because our teams are going to yell at us. Rose, one more time, what is your website?
roseforcongress.com.
roseforcongress.com. Thank you, my friend. What we're going to do now is take the shortest of breaks so that Chaboy can go refill his tea. And then we're going to come back. I'm going to shamelessly self-promote myself. Self-promote for After Dark. Okay, we are back. There we go. We are, in fact, so back. So back. A huge thanks to Rose, Penelope, Lee. That was so much fun. I absolutely loved all of that. All right, I promised that I was going to come back and I was going to shamelessly self-promote, which that's exactly what I'm going to do. HartzellForCongress.com. That is me. Oh, it's on the ticker. That's right. It's on the ticker. So I don't have to put anything on the board. It's already there. So what I do want to do, folks, real quick, filing day was on February 24th. That's when we made it all official. We running for Congress. We going to pack our bags, headed to the halls of power. It was such an amazing and incredible day. One of those that, you know, you're never going to forget kind of things. I told the team, I told my wife, actually, I was like, this felt like another wedding day because, like, I know a lot of really dope stuff happened, but I don't remember it. But, like, it was great. And that's how it was. It was really powerful. Got a chance to do a rally with the honorable, the great, and soon to be coming back to Congress, Cori Bush. It was so great. And so if you're okay with this, and you don't have much of a choice because this is my show, we're going to play my little remarks that I made at filing day. This was at Jeff City at the Capitol. They make you come all the way to the State House to file, which, you know, again, legacy of why working class poor folks can't run for office. They make you come all the way to the Capitol. You got to be real rich and oftentimes be real Republican, but that's not us. That wasn't Representative Cori Bush. Not on that day. We are ready. It's time for us to cook. It's time for working class folks to reclaim our power. And you're going to hear a little bit of that in my speech right now.
Warm up a little bit, and I believe in the rule of three, so let's do this 3 times. When I say we got us, you say we got us. We got us! 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 Brothers and sisters, friends, and family, I want to first acknowledge and say thank you and appreciation to our ancestors who got us here. And we have a beautiful, radical playbook that we can look to. Our same ancestors who are breathing or who breathe the same air that we are breathing today. And that makes me feel like we are a part of this tradition. So thank you for staying in this fight. Who's ready to keep fighting? Yeah. My name is Hartzell Gray, and yes, I am running in Missouri's 4th District, and I want to thank each and every one of you for being...
Oh, no, did I say Lee and not Yee? Oh, did I mess that up? Oh, no. Well, my bad, my friend. That means I got to have Rose back on so I can not jack that up next time. Whoops.
Being here as this movement continues to take place, I want to thank you all for taking the time from work. Make some noise for our working class folks. You understand what is at stake for each and every one of us. And this revolution is not going to be silent, but it moves through us boldly and unapologetically. Yes. I am running for Congress in Missouri's 4th District because I have seen our streets, 10 toes down in our streets, the lack of safety nets for our vulnerable communities, many of which are black and brown, our children, our elderly, people like my great-grandmother, whose name was Priscilla, but to me, that was just Mama Silla. Mama Silla lost her home to a bunch of corrupt investors after generations upon generations of no investment in her community. The same home that on her deed said no colored folks allowed. She turned that house into a home. And then the city offered her pennies on the dollar, more money than she's ever seen, but that wasn't right. And she took that bad deal. And now that same place that raised me, that I call home, I can't even afford to live there anymore. And that ain't right. When I say that ain't right, you say that ain't right. I have lived in my city long enough to feel the weight of promises that have been left on our sidewalks, of futures that have been delayed by politicians, bought and sold in the high places, who leave our communities behind. Kansas City and all of our folks in our district. That is home. Missouri is home. And our home is not for sale. Our home is not where we live in fear. Our home is our home. And ain't nobody gonna make us play for our own displacement. Do you understand me? That's our home, and we ain't going nowhere. Woo! There are voices out there that are trying to tell our communities to hate each other, trying to tell us to turn on each other, trying to tell us the hope is optional, trying to silence our voices. And to those in those halls of power, to those war hawks, the stock traders who profit off of our pain, who profit off of weapon sales and student loan interest rates, developers and insurance companies who drive our families into bankruptcy, we say not here. We say not now. We say not in our city, not in our schools, not in our workplace. What we will tell them is to expect us. Expect us. Are they ready for you and me? Are they ready for you and me? This is what it looks like when we say no more fascism. We cannot whisper in the dark. Hope and that light, it seems to find us. We have to rise. We have to speak for every child in Missouri, in my district, but every child in Cleveland, in Chicago, in St. Louis, every child and working class member in Sudan, in Congo, in Palestine. Because workers of the world unite, and none of us are free until we all are free.
That's right. Ooh.
Jefferson City, let me be very clear. Let us be very clear. There is more power in unity than in division. There is strength in action and in organizing. Because what we are asking for, it is not radical. It is a vision of revolutionaries like the late, great Reverend Jesse Jackson, our beloved Dr. King. Mama Silla said that we are all each other's keeper. It's not just the golden rule. It is that we have each other's back. It's that we got us.
That's right.
So as I wrap, I'm actually going to wrap with a little bit of a question. And my question is actually for our sister, Cori Bush. Now, Sister Cori currently has the biggest upset in the history of our state. Make some noise for Cori Bush. Cori Bush took on and defeated a political dynasty. Number one spot is yours, Cori Bush. But if I could ask you a question, if you come on down I-70, can I be number two? What y'all think about that? Can I be number two? Can we be number two? Can we be 1 and 2? And I guess we're going to take it back to 1 because we're going to bring her back to Congress and the Missouri delegation of socialists and leftists who believe that we deserve it all, who believe that we should be both free and fed. How you feel about that, Jeff City? How you feel about that? And I don't want to step on you, my friend, but I'm feeling hot right now. And I come from a stadium background, and so if I can, please help me welcome the Honorable. And we're going to send her back to Congress. Make sure her seat is warm. Help me welcome the Honorable Cori Bush.
That was a ton of fun. That was awesome. And it was an incredible way to kickstart another phase of the not even phase. This is not even a chapter. It's a new book, baby. We got a whole new saga that we're putting together. And as we put that thing together, I think that we should look good doing it. You know what I mean? I think we should look good doing it. I think that if you head to the merch store of HartzellForCongress.com, why is it not going to the merch store? You're making me look bad. Go to the merch store. Come on, merch. There you go. And boom. Well, Lord, it's not. Gee, good. You know what? User error is back, folks. Well, go to the website. If you go to the website, the tab at the top right will send you to the merch store. And our merch store is oh so incredibly dope. I got it. Come on. Oh, did we do it? Nailed it. Y'all take a look. Let me pull me off and put this big screen. If you go to hartzellforcongress.com. Take a look at the merch we've got. We've got long sleeves. We've got long sleeves with a hood and a zipper. We've got a crew neck. And of course, we've got the stickers, folks. You can't not have your stickers. We've got yard signs. We've got a ball cap. A ball cap. That's what Grandpa used to say, a ball cap. We got a short sleeve. Friends, hartzellforcongress.com. I'm very proud of how our stuff turned out, like extremely proud. It's extremely expensive to host the website, so please buy some things so I can keep the domain hartzellforcongress.com. I can tell you firsthand, I have worn the zip up hoodie. 'Tis dope. I have seen the crew neck, but I have not worn it. I've been told it is delectably soft, was the words that I heard. Kids, ask your parents. I have worn the buttons many a time. I haven't checked out the stickers yet. I have the yard signs, but I have not put them in the yard yet. Which, y'all, it pops. If you want to show both your heart and soul, if you don't want to put it on your sleeve, you can put it in your yard. A yard sign. Put it on your cap, your ball cap. hartzellforcongress.com. All righty. Before we get out of here, let me make sure that everything is set. We're going to be back on Tuesday for another wonderful stream. We don't have a guest yet, but we're going to find one. And if you got any guests that you would like to have us just chat with and hang out with, I mean, this is my escape from the campaign trail. So if you can't tell, I'm trying to stretch this out a little bit because I don't want to get back to making calls, even though I got text from the team. Hartzell. Actually, let me just read it. I know there's going to be the word call time. Call time. There it is. Get back to call time. What call time is, actually, let me make this a teachable moment. Call time is this thing where you call people and beg for money. It sounds as awful as it is, but you know what? When you don't take corporate money, when you don't take APAC money, APAC, by the way, tried to slide into our DMs to buy us out. They wanted to buy another black face, and we gave them the hand instead. So if you can join us in this movement, I plugged the website too many times. I'm going to keep plugging it too many more times. hartzellforcongress.com. Okay. With that being said, they're playing me off, Johnny. Playing myself off, Johnny. This has been great. A ton of us in the chat today, too. The I is for genocide. The I is for genocide. The I is for genocide in APAC. Yes. I was like, the I is for... Yes. A little slow over here. Again, user error over here. But you're right. The I is for genocide. It's a silent G. But we know what it means. And we don't do that around here. Power to the people over here. In the occupation over here. Free Palestine over here. Okay, my friends. I believe that is a night. Thank you, chat. You are the best. We're going to be back on Tuesday. Alrighty, we got us. We got us. We got us. Have a good night.